Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. I'm Peter Gross, co-host of the original Wild Kingdom with Marlin Perkins and Jim Fowler. Most of us have seen movies or television shows where sharks have been portrayed as marauders who prey on unsuspecting swimmers or smaller fish in the sea. But many Wild Kingdom episodes illustrate how sharks and other predators are an important part of the food chain in our underwater world. Oceans cover 70% of our planet, yet we still have much to learn about this important ecosystem. Modern technology has enhanced our ability to study the oceans with minimal disruption to their habitat. Human involvement and recent legislation to protect underwater creatures allow for the resurgence of these many species. There's more good news to come in the Wild Kingdom, so sit back and enjoy Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom right here on RFD-TV.
Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom is presented by Mutual of Omaha, the people who pay.
Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Centuries ago, volcanic action in the Pacific created an unusual chain of islands and an underwater paradise. Graceful sea lions skim through these waters in abundance, maneuvering neatly among the stark walls of hardened lava. They, like the other animals living here, showed absolutely no fear of me as I dived. In fact, they almost guided me through one of the most fascinating undersea worlds I've ever known. Many of the animals in these waters are found nowhere else on Earth. Fearsome-looking marine iguanas move about casually across the underwater layers of lava, nibbling algae from the rocks. Here and there, in old shells or in crannies in the lava, the octopus hides, waiting to prey on crabs. And sharks, graceful and dangerous, prowl endlessly in the clear blue-green waters. This marine paradise is in the waters surrounding the chain of islands known as the Galapagos Archipelago. Located some 600 miles off the coast of Ecuador, the country which owns them and has made them a national park. It was from that South American country that we embarked on our voyage to the Isles of Enchantment. Our voyage on the Cathjar for 600 miles from Ecuador's coast has been relatively uneventful. Now we're nearing our destination. Before us are the Isles of Enchantment, the Galapagos, home of numerous unusual animals, both on land and in the water surrounding the islands. A large group of porpoises cross our bow as if to welcome us. Quite soon, we'll be entering their underwater world. Tom and I will be diving close to the islands, so we won't be seeing any more of these porpoises. They prefer to stay in the much deeper water out here. Now we've anchored near Fernandina, one of the largest islands. We'll take the smaller boat to move into the rock-filled water for our dive. It is in the water over the submerged lava ledges close to shore where we'll be able to observe sea lions, marine iguanas, and other underwater life. We're already seeing why this area is so different. The sea lions following us are wholly unafraid, as are most animals here. They don't consider us predators because man has never been a natural enemy. This lack of animal fear makes the Galapagos a sort of paradise. Now we've reached the area where we're going to make our first dive, where sea lions are playing near an outcropping of lava. Here, in addition to other marine life, we'll be able to observe the sea lions underwater. Though some of the sea lions are resting, we'll still see plenty of them below. Our objective is to make close observations of their incredible maneuverability beneath the surface and to study what else occurs in their marine world next to the islands. We're hardly in the water before they're swiftly coming into us to look us over. They arrive in numbers, and they're obviously curious about us being down here. Without any sign of fear, they've begun to make a game out of tugging at our boat's anchor lines. Closely related to the California sea lions, these marine mammals can hold their breath for about 20 minutes before surfacing for air. Our observations are completed quickly. It's an awe-inspiring thing to see their agility and grace in swimming. We'll continue to observe their maneuvering for just a little while longer before expanding our explorations. We'll get back to the sea lions later. Right now, we want to move on and see some of the other marine life here. There certainly are many varieties of small fish hovering about the tiers of hardened lava, from which the Galapagos Islands were initially formed by violent volcanic action. Swimming along these lava ledges, one gets the distinct feeling that he has entered a marine paradise, not with coral reef splendor, perhaps, but yet with its own pristine quality that is unusual and breathtaking. There's definitely the sense of our having entered a garden as we see bush-like coral and sea anemones. We're going to move close to the rocks now, where some less active sea life, such as starfish, tend to live. These animals move slowly across the lava rocks searching for food. This one has moved into the territory of a group of damselfish. Though small, they're very protective of their domain. It'll take a lot of time and effort for this starfish to turn himself right side up again. Tom wants to try an experiment with another pair of the pugnacious little blue-eyed fish. Will they try to drive out a perfectly harmless pencil urchin he's found on the bottom and moved only an inch or two into their territory? And what happens if Tom moves the urchin in even closer? The fish become more agitated and begin to work as a team to evict the intruder. The time has come for us to return to the Cathjar before continuing our observations. The air in our tanks needed replenishing, so we filled them from the compressor aboard the Cathjar before resuming exploration in the waters adjacent to the islands. We've taken an hour's rest aboard the cat jar while the big air compressor on the deck was refilling our depleted air tanks. The full tanks are unhooked. This will give us another hour's worth of air. We're both anxious to dive again, especially because we're very curious about the underwater feeding habits of the marine iguanas on the lava ledges below. Tom is indicating that he's ready, so I'll lead the way. We set out for the nearby ledges and almost immediately encounter numerous fish. Unlike the brightly colored iridescent fish of coral reefs, many here are generally black or gray, a good protective coloration for camouflage within lava crevices. A dozen feet from the base of a slope leading to the surface, a movement on the bottom catches our attention. It's a small octopus on the hunt and well worth observing for a while. He usually attacks his prey from a hiding place, such as this old conch shell. He has enormous patience and may hide looking out like this for hours if necessary. This time, it's not. A crab has come into view, moving on a line which will bring it close to the alert octopus. Thus far, there is no indication the crab senses the danger. We're observing an important lesson in survival here. The danger posed by the crab's powerful pincers is averted. The crab is overpowered and then deftly stripped of its claws. Now we're going to head for the surface to see if we can locate some of the marine iguanas entering the water to feed. If so, we'll follow one and study the feeding habits. However, as we look about, the first animal we see is one of the more unusual birds of the Galapagos, the flightless cormorant. It doesn't fear us because it has no natural enemies. In fact, as with practically all wild animals here, we're able to come remarkably close. Like many birds, this one cools off by throat pulsations. Now, Tom's detected on a waterside ledge 2 Sally Lightfoot crabs and the object of our search, a marine iguana. It is striking in appearance, as are the other iguanas resting on ledges nearby. The crests on the males are well developed. As Tom moves closer, one of the iguanas does what we'd hoped, and the flightless cormorant finally decides that it prefers a less congested area. There's a second iguana on the move. It'll be a good subject to follow and see what it will do beneath the surface. We're fairly close behind the lizard, but it pays no attention to us. These iguanas can remain submerged an hour or more if need be. Living and feeding in these Galapagos waters, this species of iguana has adapted to an entirely vegetarian diet. It pays no attention to Tom's nearness and seeks out the algae it feeds on. The iguana is like the sea lion here, in that it ignores the possible danger man represents. When the correct algae patch is found, the iguana begins feeding methodically, totally ignoring Tom. The jaws and teeth of the marine iguana have become adapted as perfect tools for nipping off the algae close to the hard lava rock. Water and salt ingested with the algae will later be spit out by the iguana as it rests on the rocks above the water surface. I've known no other place in nature where wild animals show such complete disdain for man's presence. Even possible danger from other animals, such as this playful sea lion, is ignored because the iguana lives on the Galapagos, where it has no enemies. The lack of reaction on the iguana's part takes the fun out of it for the sea lion, who prefers much more action in his activities. Few creatures in the sea can match the sea lion's speed and maneuverability. It has been clocked swimming at over 20 miles per hour. The iguana's heading back for the island, and so this portion of our observation is finished. Soon we'll be trying an underwater experiment which we believe has never been done before. With some fish bait we got at the boat, we decided to see if the wild sea lions would take food from our hands under the surface. Our stop at the Cathchar was only long enough to get the sack of fish. Now we're once more swimming over the beds of solidified lava from which the Galapagos were formed so many eons ago, a landscape reminiscent of an alien world. We're pretty close to the area where earlier this morning we saw so many sea lions. This is as good a place as any to try attracting them to our bait. It's not long before a good specimen comes down from the surface to take a look at us. He seems only vaguely interested. Even pulling out a bait fish from the bag doesn't inspire him to do more than take a somewhat closer look. Evidently, he's not hungry, so our hope now must be that he'll consider my offering of fish as a kind of game, and he'll take it just for the fun of playing with it. Looks like he's decided to take it on this pass, and he's treating it as a plaything rather than as food. As he maneuvers with it, I detect a movement above, a pelican swimming on the surface. Tom's seen it too, and since the bird's evidently hungry, maybe it'll take some bait from below. This has to be one of the most unusual instances of feeding a wild animal by hand that we've ever encountered. Apparently the pelican wants more, but Tom has used up all the cut bait he had, so the pelican decides to leave. At first, it appeared that this sea lion wanted food, but it's obviously been disturbed by something not yet apparent to us. Another passes through, hardly noticing us, and suddenly the sea lions have vanished and we're all alone. A vague uneasiness fills both of us, and so we head for the big boat. The danger quickly becomes abundantly clear. It's not only a danger to the sea lions, it's a potential danger to us too. Probably attracted by the smell of our bait, a good-sized shark comes close to us. We had hoped not to be bothered by them, but we've come prepared in case of any shark aggression. Tom readies his compressed air gun. It's an adequate weapon to fend off attack. We've never had to use it before, and hope we won't have to now. A movement to one side shows me that a second shark has arrived. All we can do is to remain alert as still more of them show up. They're getting bolder. Tom's ready, but we still won't use our defense unless we have no other choice. Thus far, though they're coming close to us, they seem more curious than either hungry or aggressive. There seems to be about a dozen sharks circling, probably all Galapagos sharks. But now Tom's seen a newcomer, a fairly large white-tip shark. We'll keep a sharp eye on that one. White-tips are sometimes belligerent and unpredictable, occasionally attacking swiftly and without warning. The Galapagos sharks can be just as aggressive. That partially open mouth could be a danger signal, so we won't delay any longer in getting away from here, keeping alert for attack from the rear. We've only seen a small portion of the marine life which lives in the waters surrounding the Galapagos. But time has run out for us on this expedition. We will look forward eagerly to a return to these fascinating Isles of Enchantment. The wildlife of the waters surrounding the Galapagos Islands is in large measure unique to the area. Because they do not fear man, they could easily have been destroyed by him had not strong measures been taken to avert such a possibility. Aware of the vulnerability of this wildlife, the Ecuadorian government took a great forward stride in conservation by creating a national park of the entire chain of islands and surrounding waters. It is a tribute to the foresight of the Ecuadorians that they have done so. Future generations of men from all over the world will benefit from the studies made in this miniature paradise of the wild kingdom.
Mutual of Omaha, the people who pay, has presented Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Mutual of Omaha, helping people find Medicare solutions for over 50 years. To learn more about plan options or how to protect your kingdom, contact us today.
Mutual of Omaha. Protect your kingdom.